What up, y'all? What's up? It is Crew, aka Araneae Storm, checking in for the Mercury sign series, Mercury in the 7th house to be exact. So if you have Mercury in the 7th house, or you know somebody that has Mercury in the 7th house, this video is for you. I am your cosmic root work astrologist specializing in evolutionary astrology. So if you're interested in learning a little bit about your past lives, anything about your current life and incarnation here, your destiny, and where you're planning to go to like really squeeze up out of that comfort zone, you want to make sure you hit me up. At this time, I'm taking my readings on a donation and tip base, also in a barter and trade base. So y'all make sure y'all hit me up. Make sure you also leave a comment, like, what does it say? A comment, like, share, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. All my links are down below in that description box. So y'all make sure y'all check me out. All right. Mercury in the 7th house. What is good? What does it mean to have Mercury in the 7th house? Well, first and foremost, what is Mercury in the 7th house? What is it ruled by? When we see Mercury in the 6th house, we see this energy. First of all, Mercury in the 7th house being the Libra house, which is the 7th house. Mercury being the ways in which we think, the ways in which we communicate, and the ways in which we receive information. And so when we have, Mercury kind of being the chatty catty, it's also ruled by Gemini and Virgo. This is where we see somebody who is very focused on others, right? Mercury in the 7th house can be very accommodating to other people, almost to a fault, okay? Almost, when I say almost to a fault, there's a beauty in catering to people. There's a beauty in making sure that people's needs are great. Honestly, Mercury in the 5th house would be great people at like hospitalities, events, putting on the balls and all this other type of stuff when it comes to, so it's not cold in here, it's just the fan. And I need the fan. Like I need a little bit of mix of hot and not. Okay. But communicating about like I said, planning events. So this is where you see like wedding planners. This is where you can also see people who are good at like relationship counsel. So you might find that like Mercury and the 7th house people, if you have some types of things going on with your relationships, Mercury in the 7th house of people like, well, what, like, just tell me the whole situation, right? Like, so what did you say? So what did he say? So what did she say? So what was going on in the situation? And like, let me kind of squall out, okay? So that's what Mercury can definitely be given in the 7th house. Also too, you can see somebody, Mercury in the 7th house who is really good at like mediation. Okay, very good at like seeing once again two sides of the coin and then making like delegating, like how can we come to a happy medium, how can we come to a census, and how we can move forward in these things as well too. You can also see here business matters, because 7th house rules business. It rules contractual binds, legal agreements. It also rules marriages and also the people that marry you here. And so you can definitely see somebody who's very good at negotiating business deals. Maybe somebody on the other side that you're trying to sell to, or maybe you're trying to get some type of, I don't know, for example, maybe you're negotiating some type of house, right? And you're like, well, I want this much for it, and somebody else is like, well, this is the initial price, then we have it. So you're negotiating back and forth with this person, like trying to bring down the price. And you're like, this is going to be my set price that I can get it to. And then all of a sudden, you might have negotiated the deal even lower than you suspected, you know what I mean? Or just somebody like in a marketplace, and they're trying to get some silks, and the initial price is higher, but you end up talking with the merchant, and they end up making it even cheaper, and maybe even end up giving you extra with the Mercury in the 7th house. You can also see contractual bonds and agreements being laid here, as well as building relationships. So relationship counsel. You could definitely see people with Mercury in the 7th house who have, I feel like they're consulting not only in like work and things that they do or contractual agreements, but a lot of times you'll see Mercury in the 7th house people that when it comes to the relationships that they're in, they like to consult their partners like about the things that they're doing. Not to say that you can't or anything, but it's just like they'll go to their partners and be like, oh, well, what do you think about this, babe? Or what do you think about this, honey? Like, what do you think we should do? Should we do this or should we do that? Maybe we could, or this is, I don't know why I'm getting this too, but you can even see Mercury in the 7th house people. You know them couples that like, they say something and then they look to their partner for like clarity. I don't even know. But they're like, yeah, we feel like we should do this. This is something that we've always wanted to do. This is something that I feel so it doesn't necessarily have to be you. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, child, but girl, this is where you can see them couples, right? That'd be like, I don't know, babe. Like, let's see if you like that too. I'm not really sure, but maybe. So you could definitely see this with Mercury in the 7th house. Also, as well, no tea, no shade, okay? Just saying. Y'all like to consult your partners. Like, don't shoot the messenger, all right? Just know that you have it in you to do. Okay, definitely, like I said, depending on what your Mercury sign is and what's aspected to it, but Mercury in the 7th house is usually like really consultant with that. You can also find conflict resolution also resides in Mercury in the 7th house too. Like I said, they can delegate. They know how to delegate and be like, okay, well, how can we kind of resolve this, or delegate like things like, okay, well, I kind of need you to do this. Okay, could you do that? Do you mind doing this? So this is like, for example, going back to that wedding planner example, maybe you got somebody that's doing the cakes, you got somebody that's doing the entertainment, you got somebody that's the host, and you got somebody that's, the pastor, whoever that's marrying the people off, you know what I'm saying? So you have the decorator, like, so it's very good for kind of setting those things in motion and getting those things done. Also to the socialites, this is Mercury in the 7th house are socialites. They spend a lot of time usually, like I said, depending on what's in that 7th house, you want to see what's in that 7th house with Mercury and what's aspecting it in the signs. But you could find them definitely like on the scene. Like they like to be on the scene. They like to socialize. They like to, kind of be, kind of knowing what's going on. Not only knowing what's going on in their friends, but in the world. They could tell you, like, maybe they're telling you about the tea, the gossip of maybe like celebrities, not to say that, that's not what I'm saying, but, or the friend group. Like they know what's going on with everybody in the friend group. It's like, oh, this is, she's going here and then she's going there. And then she told me she was like going to here and then she was going to be traveling to this place and it was so dope. And I talked to her. So you can have a lot of people also blowing up that phone, honey. You know what I'm saying? Like just a lot of your intimate connections of people just like wanting to hit you up, trying to see what's good with you, trying to see what's, how they want to connect with you, all those kind of things too. You can also see with Mercury in the 7th house, like I said, planning, organization, also a link go-to relationships and considering partners. Mercury in the 7th house is different. It's the opposite than Mercury in the 1st house. It's very considered. It's like, what do I want to do? Mercury in the 1st house says. Mercury in the 7th house says, well, what do we want to do? How do we want to do it? You know what I'm saying? They're very, very considerate of other people. And like I said, sometimes that can be a great thing and it's beautiful, especially when it comes to collaborative interests. But a lot of times it can be detrimental because you're considering other people's needs before your own. So you just want to make sure you check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? But then also knowing when it is good to like lean on to the other people for your needs as well, okay? So that's what I have for Mercury in the 7th house. We're going to move on to Mercury in the 8th house, and we're going to finish this week up for Mercury in the 8th house. And then we're going to finish up this series next week, Mercury in the 9th house to the 12th house. And then we're going to move on to Venus. You know what I mean? It is Valentine's, a little Valentine. I call it the Bobby Valentino day, okay? So next week we'll move on to Venusian energy, okay? And then we'll finish, and then after that we'll go into Mars. So, because it'll be like Pisces in the Aries season. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's already starting checking out without a doubt. Like I said, make sure y'all hit me up for that personal reading. Tip donation based, barter and trade based, okay? And also to make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when your girl be posting, all right? You know when she be hosting. All right, I'm out. Deuces.